It is Friday, October 8th? 7th. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But not that much to update for today. I hope you enjoyed my vlog from yesterday that I recorded on my bed. I'll have to go back and change the orientation of that one. But I actually do spend quite a bit of time in my bed, or beds. It just feels like my safe place in a way, but for some reason I'm always like cold a little bit, and it just feels so nice to get under the covers. It feels like a warm hug. But not much today. Today's video I think maybe will be like a love letter to Los Angeles public transit, because there's a new line that actually opened up in my area, and all public transit has been free in the lead up to this launch, which has been pretty cool. So I actually got my license in 2006, or 2005. I don't remember, a long time ago. And as some of you might know, for some reason I'm just feeling really congested. But yeah, I got my license, but since coming to LA, since a lot has kind of been up in the air, I haven't gotten a car. And so I do have a couple other friends who I don't think have cars, and they just take rideshare like Uber or Lyft everywhere. But I've always just been like very pro public transit. You know, I grew up in like Maryland suburbia, but then I went to Georgetown, which was in DC. So then I was like taking the metro. And then I moved to New York, where, you know, most people didn't have a car. And then San Francisco, you know, more of my friends then had cars for like some of their weekend adventures and stuff. But it was a small enough area that public transit was really manageable there. So Los Angeles, much, much bigger, but I am currently staying in like the View Park area. I think that's what it's called. And someone in the disability community that I know, Diego, was in town and asked to meet up. And he had actually picked a place that was like close by here. And I just wasn't sure like what that whole commute was going to be like. So I offered to find a spot closer to where he would be, which is actually in Hollywood. So I often say that if you're not in a rush, public transit is very impressive in terms of getting you to where you need to go. So I ended up hopping on the bus, but it started going in the wrong direction for a little bit. And then I realized my mistake. And so originally I would have been like 10 minutes late. And then now, because of this little snafu on my own, I was going to be like 45 minutes late. But luckily, or hopefully, it wasn't too, like, it was right by where he was staying, and he brought a friend as well. Hi, Andy. So yeah. And I think I'm also learning that it just takes forever to get places in LA anyway, even if you had a car. So yeah, so I ended up taking public transit there. I was unfortunately 45 minutes late, but it was still great to see both of them. And this is probably like the third time that I've had a scenario where I've like tried to mad dash my way, or like make my way across to another part of the city, but this place is so big. And I actually think this is why most people kind of stick to their little neighborhoods, because it takes a long time to get places. And, you know, when there's a lot of traffic, like, you're gonna be late. So anyway, so it was good to see them. And then I took public transit back, and I was supposed to grab like an early dinner or like early evening hang with a friend, but she's in Pasadena. And so Hollywood, I think, was going to work for her. But then at that point, I was already taking the bus and I was like in like the La Brea area. And that would have meant that her commute was an hour. So we're going to find another time to meet up. But this is part of, I guess, what I like about LA is not only how vast the public transit is here, but like, I don't know, I guess the way that I've set up my life here so far is that I can have these like large pockets of time, or I make these cushions available so that I can so that I have like enough time to get to the places that I need to get to. So that's kind of what I did today. I mean, if you think about it, it was like 3 hours of commuting. And now I'm winding down the day. And one of the other things that I kind of did today is I've been reflecting on kind of like building out my support team. So like maybe like hiring a VA or something. So if you have any suggestions on VA like resources that you use, feel free to put them in the comments and I'd be happy to check them out. But I'm excited to see like what kinds of things I can outsource, or how I can build out my team a little bit so that I get more time to like focus on the things that I like doing, which I think ultimately is the goal. So anyway, I hope you have a nice weekend. It's been fun just like seeing people are actually watching these. If you want me to talk about anything, like put them into the comments and I'm happy to chat a little bit more about them. But I hope you have a wonderful weekend and I will see you tomorrow.